All right. Good morning, everyone. This is Jamie Broderick. I'm the founder of Network Now, which is a women entrepreneur networking organization in the Bucks County, Greater Philadelphia area. I'm also a visibility coach. I help people get found online and look like the rock stars that they are. And today I invited premium member Fran Bontempo to join me on this blab because she just released her third book. Awesome. So that's awesome. When I first met her, she had released this book, Not Ready for Granny Panties. Hysterical. She is, there we go. So she is like the Irma Bombeck of our day. She's very funny. Just even coordinating this blab was hysterical. She said, okay, I'll see you at your house at whatever time. I'm like, oh my gosh, you were so
I was
funny.
waiting for breakfast. I wanted breakfast. You could have accommodated me. Come on.
Well, I can understand why you thought we all had to be together because we did a Periscope together.
Right. And that was what was in my head.
And when you Periscope, it's one person speaking to many. And when I do an interview on a Periscope, I'm flipping between me and you to many. So, but this is different. A blab is a four-way chat, potentially. So it's four-way to many.
And this is why I need you to tell me about these things, because I clearly have no idea. I just depend on you to go, hey, you want to try this? And I go, yeah, sure. And then you just tell me what to do and I show up. Well, sometimes at your house, sometimes at my house, whatever.
Well, that's the not ready for granny panties mindset, right? Just give it a try.
That's exactly it. It's, you know what? It's part of it is being willing to look a little bit silly and just get on the bandwagon anyway.
Right.
You know, and just hope that people will forgive you your lack of knowledge with stuff like that. And that, you know what they do? Things are changing so exponentially fast that to keep up with everything is impossible. So you just kind of have to be willing to jump in.
Right. Well, this is a brand new platform. It's still in beta mode, actually. So you can cut yourself a break.
Thank you.
So for those that have not been on a blab yet, over here, you'll see a button. It's blue. It says, Tell a Little Bird. You click that and it will share this broadcast on Twitter with all of your followers. So we would appreciate that share. Thank you. And if you like what I'm saying or what Fran is saying, let's see if it's opposite here. You see these little high five hands? That's like a like or a heart on Periscope terms. So when you click that, it gives you high fives. And it doesn't like accumulate over time. It's just for this one broadcast, but it shows that we're on the right track and talking about things that you want to hear about. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your first book, not the second book, Not Ready for Granny Panties first, and then we'll get into the next one.
Well, very long story condensed. I started out as a newspaper columnist, and then, a number of years ago, that all just started to go by the wayside. So I realized I had to go to the internet. And when I got there, I just found that there wasn't a whole lot of stuff for women of a certain age, shall we say.
Uh-huh.
So I decided to create a blog, Not Ready for Granny Panties, for women of my headset, and as a vehicle to get my writing out there. And in the process of doing that, I found out, and we wanted to keep it light. It was supposed to be fun because everybody out there is kind of, when you get to a certain age, everybody's banging you over the head with ways to inspire you. I was like, I just want to have some fun at this point. I've got enough inspiration. But this kind of ends up being inspiring by being funny at the same time. And it was a matter of, like, how do I really communicate with readers more? And it turned out like there was a book in my head. How to avoid granny panties. And I'm not really talking about the stuff that goes on down there because that's your business. But it's the mental granny panties. It's the things that age us in the ways that we think as we get older. And I just kind of wanted to blow that up. And that's how I came up with the first book, The 11 Commandments for Avoiding Granny Panties.
Are you getting somebody's saying they're getting an echo. Is that when you're listening to me or Fran? Because there was a feedback issue with Fran's. Mine, I think, Fran, there's a little bit of an echo.
Yeah, I'm trying the headphones. We'll try that again. I don't know if that's going to help at all. Let me see.
All right, we'll give her a headphones to try. But she had major feedback issues.
Does that help?
Let us know if that's any better. Okay, so give us a couple things we can do each day to avoid the granny panties, Mary Fran.
Well, there are a couple of different, there are 11 different commandments. One of them is to scare yourself. Thou shalt scare thyself. And the idea behind that is remembering when fear was fun, when you were a kid, and haunted houses and roller coasters, and when that adrenaline rush was a fun thing for people. But as we get older, we get afraid of that. So it's a matter of recognizing that can be joyful and hooking into that again and not being afraid to be afraid, because it can open up all sorts of doors for you.
Right. So your newest book, which I don't have a physical copy of because I downloaded the digital version to my iPad.
I will get you a new copy of them. Oh, awesome. I just got them in myself, actually. So.
I got to add it to my collection of Network Now awesomeness.
Yeah. Here it is.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
A Woman's Book of Dirty Words.
A Woman's Book of Dirty Words.
So give me an example of a dirty word, my friend.
Well, it ranges through all sorts of things, but it starts out with all of those words that are fun for other people, like holidays and vacation and all those things that everybody else thinks, yay, holidays, vacation. And women go, oh my God, it's so much work. So it's about tweaking your expectations and everybody else's expectations of those things, those events in your life, and making them less stressful and making them more like the words that everybody else thinks they are,
right.
The fun things. So, and then I move on to other things. I move on to words like change, which is a scary word for women, and balance, which is a myth. Mm-hmm. There is none. I'm sorry, there's no balance. So it takes all of those words that are just really common in our vocabulary, but really mean different things and get in our heads as women and really mess with us.
Right. I love the vacation chapter on vacation.
How is
Especially when you're renting a house or something and it's so much prep and work there and then cleaning up and laundry.
Well, that's exactly it. And, I have a great illustrator, Pat Achilles, who works with me on these things, and we do cartoons at the beginning of every chapter. And my idea for that cartoon was all the stuff like women are packing, you're packing sheets and the sunscreen and the clothes and the food and everything else. And then the kids come into the room with a pair of sunglasses and a bucket and a shovel and go, we're ready. It's so overwhelming. And it's hard for women to relax into that. So there are fun tips and exercises at the end of every chapter to sort of get you into the mindset where you can have some of the fun that everybody else is having.
Okay, so which chapter would apply right now, the back to school time? Is it we're getting ready for holidays or?
I think holidays, I think holidays is appropriate because there are so many expectations on women. And I mean, the holiday season starts now. Like we're already seeing pumpkins and everything. So, and pretty soon next to that, you'll see the Santa Clauses, and then you'll see the New Year stuff, and then you'll see the bunnies, and the Thanksgiving turkeys will be in there. And again, it's all about making things fun but reasonable so that you can enjoy yourself and all of this stuff too, and releasing yourself from the guilt if you're not a Pinterest queen who has little lights embedded in every one of your decorations and 7 tiers of cakes and layers and stuff like that if you're throwing a party. It's about realistically setting fun expectations for yourself, because you're the one who ends up putting the pressure on yourself for the most part anyway.
Mm-hmm. If you have the time and that's what you enjoy doing, go for it. But I'm running a business. I have a house to take care of, a family. I'm not that, especially like think about the classroom. When I have a daughter in elementary school, shocking as that is. And, being the older mother, you go in there and there's some young moms that are just like all gung ho and making like these multi-layer cupcakes with like make noises and things. And I'm like, you're bringing pencils. That's it. Like, I'm happy I even got the pencils.
You know what? That's exactly it. And it's more, it doesn't matter what those people think of you. It really doesn't. It doesn't matter what other people's impression of you is. If you can get to bed every night and know that you took care of your family and also in the process took care of yourself and had a little bit of fun in your day and got done what you needed to get done.
Right.
I mean, let's face it, not everything is a skip and a hop and a jump down the street. You're not dancing through your life all day. But you don't have to be everything doesn't have to be the pinnacle. And actually, that's another one of the dirty words in the book. Fine. The word fine has become a dirty word. Why? If it's fine, then you've done what you needed to do and you can move on. Everything doesn't have to be awesome. We've fallen victim to the land of superlatives. Everything has to be awesome and the best. No, it doesn't.
Or just
be fine and move on.
It's a mind shift.
It is. It is. It's a mind shift. It's about taking those things that, as a culture, we've turned into. Again, everything has to be a superlative, and recognizing that no, it doesn't. And if you try to make everything a superlative, you're going to be exhausted.
Mm-hmm. We have a comment here from. Let's see if I can get his real name. His name is Fred. Hi, Fred. Fred says that vacation is a relatively dirty word, regardless of gender, more of a family herd issue. So he's saying that vacations get better as your kiddies grow up and it's just you and your spouse, perhaps.
I am right there with you. And that's part of it too, because, a lot of times we still do family vacations because you want to take everybody with you and all that. But there comes a point, even when your kids are not completely out of the house, where you turn stuff over to them. You don't have to be responsible for them packing everything. You don't have to be responsible once your kids are out of the house, even if they are joining you for planning every meal. At some point, when they're adults, let them do that stuff themselves. And he's absolutely right. Take vacations with just the two of you. You need to do that.
Yeah. Melissa Mance is on. That's who UP Trenton is. She's hiding under the UP.
Hi, Melissa.
That's your new job, huh, Melissa? She's saying the older I get, the more I understand that perfection is not the goal.
Exactly. It's not about being perfect. First of all, if you make that your goal, you're doomed to fail. Mm-hmm. There is something that is going to go wrong in your day. When is the last time you had a perfect day?
Right. Oh, never.
No. When is the last time everything went according to plan? Witness this headphone thing with the feedback and all that. No matter how carefully you plan, sometimes things just don't work out. And you have to be willing to let go of that and recognize that, like I said, it's okay. You get to bed at the end of the day and you've managed to not create a disaster and everything kind of got done. Okay, that's good. Moving on.
Yeah, but things are going to happen. You got to keep things in perspective, especially considering what today is, right? 9/11.
Yes. Yeah.
Put things in perspective. It's like 3 days before my son's graduation party, our deck is drying from the painter who was there a day before. And we find out that he had used 2 colors.
Oh, no.
It's like it was the same color, chestnut brown, but Lowe's messed it up. They made 2 buckets from transparent base stain and 2 buckets from solid base, whatever the heck. It started in the wrong product, so it ended up being 2 colors. We literally had a stripe down the middle of the deck, and then half the stairs were one. It's just, at first you're like, oh my gosh. And then you're like, oh my God, that's funny.
It's kind of funny. It is. It is. And that's part of it too. It's finding the humor in all of that stuff. I mean, and you have to be able to laugh at yourself too. We had, I am very blessed to actually be a grandmother, which is really, really cool. But back when we were having the shower for Kelly, for the baby, my daughter-in-law, Kelly, I was in charge of plates. And I went crazy because I thought, I have to match the plates to the decor, to the theme, to all this. I was driving my kids crazy looking for these stupid plates. And as I'm at this party, I'm looking at these plates that people are carrying around with food on them, which is the whole point. And then looking at them in the trash, which is also the point, and thinking and laughing at myself, thinking, you are an idiot. Why did you waste that time on something that's stupid? But you have to be willing to take those things that happen that could be really annoying, and you could turn it into this like personal mini tragedy and go, oh my God, that was really funny, or that's really stupid, and blow it off.
Right. Just get it done good enough.
Exactly. It's fine. It's fine. Let's move on.
Fine. It's fine. Let's see. So I'm going to see what her real name is. Hold on. Her name is Christine. Hi, Christine. Follow her.
Hi, Christine.
Wow. Oh, I didn't mean to kick her off. Whoops. My parents taught me at an early age that if you can't laugh at yourself, you have no business laughing at anyone else.
You know what? Absolutely. And it's all about recognizing that the humanity in each other and in ourselves. Again, we're not perfect. If you're making that your goal, you're going to have a problem. You're doomed to failure. So if you can recognize that in yourself, it's easier to recognize it in everybody else, and it allows you to let other people off the hook for stuff too. I mean, you can't aspire to something that's completely unattainable. Right. Why would you do that?
Right. You can see in the comments, we have grandkids are cool. You can spoil the heck out of them, get them hyped back.
It's called payback. That's what it's called, payback.
Right.
No, you're absolutely right. And I think that's one thing that actually having Emma in my life has taught me, to be in the moment. When she walks in the house, none of this other stuff matters. The books don't matter. The speaking engagements don't. Nothing matters. What matters is that she wants me to chase her around the dining room table. That's what matters.
Right.
And it's being in that moment for the joy that's there. And if you can take that sentiment and transfer it into other moments in your life, even if you're not chasing a baby around the table, that's a win, because those moments are there, but we have to be willing to immerse ourselves in them and sometimes let all the other stuff go.
Right. It's like I'm trying to get my daughter to bed at a reasonable hour, but last night she was just in a dancing mood because she had her first dance classes. So for like an hour, she's bouncing all over her room to different songs, putting on a performance. I'm like, just enjoy it.
Exactly.
She's not going to be 10 jumping around her room for long.
And that's a memory that you will have that it's going to make you smile for a long time. And if that brings joy to a moment in your day that's not so great, then it was worth her missing her bedtime. Mm-hmm. It's fine.
Right. Don't. You know, I'm all about setting goals and heading towards them, but you have to be mindful and enjoy the journey. You know?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very easy, especially because life is so fast and things move exponentially quickly, that to slow down and just step out of it every once in a while and just see where you're at. I mean, something as simple, and this is going to sound really metaphysically weird, but something as simple as like cutting into a fresh peach and looking at the colors. A peach is a beautiful thing. The colors are gorgeous. And it's little tiny, tiny moments like that that can give you a little bit of refreshment in your day to move on to the next frantic activity.
Right. If there are any premium members of Network Now on this call, or any of my publicity clients, or any of our friends from the media, we would love for you to click the join button. But since this is a Network Now event, we're limiting the people that join our call, our talk live, to premium members or media or publicity clients, okay? If you want to share this with your subscribers, you can click the Tell a Little Bird and it'll tweet it out. If you like what you're hearing, you can give Mary Fran or me some high five props there. I think they're called props, yeah. And if you have some comments or questions, just type them in the chat box. So Beth Allen is on, and she says she's loves seeing the two of us, and it's a great practical kick in the arse.
I love Beth Allen. She is just the best. And she and I are very like-minded too. I mean, we both have had challenges in our lives, as has everyone. But again, it's about recognizing those things and putting them somewhere. Of course, they're going to become a part of you, but how do you take all of that and find something good? And most of the time it's strength that comes from those kinds of adversity and that experience. And then just finding a way to integrate that into your life and reach out to other people and do your thing without having those experiences define you. And that's really important.
It's good. So is there another dirty word you want to share with us?
One of the dirty words to me for women is balance.
Balance, okay.
How many magazine covers or things online or whatever do you find? Like 10 ways to find balance in your life. The best ways to achieve a work-life balance. There is no such thing. You cannot find A balance. Balance means that both sides are equally weighed. When does that ever happen? It doesn't happen.
Right.
And then I think what we end up doing to ourselves is when we don't achieve that balance, again, we feel like we're failing somehow. In the book, I liken balance to a Macy's Day Parade balloon. You know, it goes like this and it goes like that. And one day it's on this side and one day it's on that side. And you got these people pulling it with strings on either side just to try to keep it afloat. But it's never completely still and even when it's going down the street. It can't be. Right. So that's a dirty word to me for women because we feel like if we don't achieve it, once again, we failed. It's not about finding a perfect balance. Life would be boring if it were like that.
That's what somebody just said. Life is boring if it's totally balanced. You know, you can try to get a balance of sorts overall in life. So if you're spending every day on work and neglecting your family or friends or your health,
that's exactly it.
Issue, but each day may be different. So one day you may be like fitness guru, and another day you may be relaxing and socializing, and another day you're working 18 hours.
That is exactly the point.
Do it in chunks, okay, as long as over the long term there's some sort of balance.
Yeah, well, that's exactly the point. It's about taking that word and recognizing that it's a big picture word. It's not a day-to-day word, and it's a word that is a shifting word, like you said exactly and perfectly well. Someday it's going to be about this thing, and another day it's going to be about that thing. And it's accepting that and recognizing that it's fine.
Yeah. And today's Mary Fran Day.
Yay! And it's New Book Day. Yay! And you know what? After this, it's Mommy Day because I'm taking my mom to the mall. So it's about all sorts of things and being okay with that.
Right. For those that just joined us, this is Mary Fran Bontempo. She's the author of her third new book called
The Woman's Book of Dirty Words.
And I'm Jamie Broderick. I'm the founder of Network Now, which is a women's networking organization in the Bucks County, Philadelphia area. I am also a visibility coach. I make you look like the rock star you are online.
And she does it very well, clearly.
Yeah. So premium members can be featured on my blabs as well as top thought leaders, media, and my publicity clients. So today we're talking with Mary Fran about her book. On Monday, at 2:00, I will be online on Blab with Angela Gia Kim from Savor the Success. She's having an event. She has a networking organization in New York City, which is very media and publicity focused as well. She has an event on October 3rd called Rock the World 2015. So we thought we'd get on and collaborate and we'd talk about entrepreneurship for women and share our events. She has that event and I have an event on October 16th that's called Future is Bright. And my keynote speaker is Petra Kolber, who is a global fitness guru and moving to happiness expert. And I'm sure Angela knows who she is as well. And then I have a leadership panel that is going to be moderated by Lynn Doyle of It's Your Call with Lynn Doyle. And the panelists are the one and only Jen Groover of jengroover.com and Janet Mincer, who is the CEO and president of Pearl S. Buck International, and former attorney and public relations expert Gina Furia-Rubel. And then we also have a special guest, one of our premium members, Sue Geyer, will be leading everyone in a short exercise on transformation. Because the whole focus of the event is, well, it's a celebration of the 8 years as Network Now as a network, which is great. It's always a good excuse for a party, right? But it also is a time to celebrate, but then also to look forward and say, no matter what's happened or is happening, you can make the future bright. So Petra's going to literally get everyone up on their feet, dancing and talking about how to shine. No matter where you are, we're going to help you move forward down the right road. So it's going to be pretty awesome. So anyway, Angela and I will be on Blab on Monday. That is already scheduled. So if you follow me and subscribe to that, you'll get an alert when we go on air. And on Tuesday, I'll be going live with Jen Groover and Petra Kolber at 3:00 on Blab. And then on Thursday, another premium member of Network Now will be joining me, Patty DeLesio of Reinvent Interactive. She's joining me at 10 a.m. We're going to be talking about her experience at Inbound Marketing Conference that HubSpot is actually, I think it's still going on today. It's up in Boston. So she's going to be telling us all about her experience there and what she learned. They had keynote speaker Seth Godin kick it off. They had Amy Schumer there. They have Chelsea Clinton as one of the keynotes. And then all this rock star speakers that I know, like John Jantz, Scott Stratton, Chris Brogan. It was like a powerhouse of, social media marketing people. So I cannot wait to talk to her about that. We'll be on, I think you're limited to 6 hours for recording a blab, so we may use that whole time.
Lots to talk about.
Yeah. So let's see your book one more time there, Mary Fran.
One more time. Woman's Book of Dirty Words. It's available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, along with the other books as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I guess we're going to sign off. I appreciate your time, Mary Fran.
I appreciate the opportunity. It's always great to see you, even though you didn't invite me over for breakfast. I'm still waiting for my pancakes.
Okay.
It was great fun. Thanks, Jamie.
All right. I'll see you.